What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the RJ Show. Today, we're going to talk about what do I need to do to make my resume stand out? Big one, big topic here. So, first, let me just say, as an HR person, how long does it take for your traditional HR person to review your resume? Not long at all. One of the most important things that I look for is how do I disqualify somebody that's not the ideal fit? So, first and foremost, if the job, if it's going to pay, say, $30 an hour, okay, and on some of the pre-screening questions that are asked during the job application process. So, if you use ZipRecruiter, Indeed, or if you visit a company website, there may be some pre-screening questions that are asked as you submit your resume. And we do that just to ensure you have a certain level of skills, you have the right skills, and you're also, for the most part, going to be within the appropriate wage range. So one of the things is, I typically post the wage. So one of the things is, what wage are you looking for? What is your desired base pay? I say desired base because there could be a job that has commissions, sales job, for example. So if the job pays $30 an hour and you want 50, either you didn't pay attention or you're definitely out of my league. And I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine either. So there's no point in going through the interview process, right? So your resume is a sales tool. It helps you get to the job interview. So that's key. Getting to the job interview. Therefore, what else do I look for on your resume? I look to make sure things are aligned properly. Did you take the time to ensure the alignment is all the same throughout your resume? Do the dates all line up? Or do you have, as an example, months in some cases, in some places, or numbers representing months in other locations, right? So I like to see things that lined up. I also look for errors in grammar, spelling errors. If you have those things on your resume, maybe you're not taking the appropriate amount of time that you need for that HR person or that business owner to call you and say, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to meet you. A question I get a lot, pretty frequently, is what about a cover letter? If I do a cover letter, will you read it? Of course. I love cover letters. A lot of times, a resume does not talk specifically to my job. The job that I posted that you've applied for, how do you tie into this job, especially if I cannot understand it on your resume? So if you have a cover letter, especially if it's tailored to my job, then I'm going to understand who you are. I'm going to read it. Every single resume I receive, I look at. I may not look at it for a long time, but I'm looking at it. I'm reviewing it. I'm looking to see if the person qualifies for the minimum criteria. If you do, I want to talk to you. If you have a cover letter, it's even better because then I get to look and say, hey, what are you talking about? Now, I do see cover letters I've seen somebody submit their tax form in place of a resume. I'm like, what is this? This is definitely not what I'm looking for. Obviously, if you're sending the wrong stuff, maybe you just don't care. That's what the interviewer is going to think. That's what the HR person is going to think. You're not taking your time to do it the right way. Effort means a lot. You do a cover letter, effort is important. I talked about your resume. What else on your resume? Are you using different fonts in different areas? Does it look like it's completely AI generated? If it does, I got a problem with that. I want you to communicate. Should you use AI as a resource? Of course. It's no different than using, your spell check if you're doing it in Microsoft Word or Excel. Use the tools that are available, but make it your own as well. Spend some time, reread it. One tool that I learned a long time ago in school is I can type something up, whether it's a memo, a resume, whatever communication, a paper. I set it aside. Let it get that dust on it, whether it's electronic dust or physical dust. In school, what I would do is I would print out the paper and I'd let it sit for a day, 10 hours, whatever it is. Then I'd go and revisit it. And I'd take a red pen. In this case, I got a blue one. But I'd take a red pen just to have some fun. And I'd go through the paper that I wrote. And I'd say, whoa, what are you talking about here? Dude, this doesn't make sense. No bueno. Okay, this is crazy. You sound ridiculous. The point is, are you communicating effectively? Are you communicating what you want to say? What you want that recruiter to see? Are they going to understand who you are by that piece of paper? And that is all your resume is. It's a tool to get you to the job interview. That's when you sell you, because it is a sales game. It is a sales pitch. Do you have a specific brand? Maybe you want to talk about that brand on your resume. Maybe you want to save it for your thank you letter. I typically save it for a thank you letter. So you want to make sure that your resume has no errors, grammar, spelling. Those are no good. You want to make sure it's in perfect alignment. You don't want to have, company name and then job title all the way on the right side. And the next job you have it the opposite way. You got the company here, you got the job title underneath, and then you got long run-on sentences. Let it make sense. Let your resume talk about things that you've accomplished. It's understood that you worked there from this time to this time. That's good. That's important, right? It's important that you have some consistency in your resume. If you have a gap, that's not the end of the world. You can indicate what you did during that gap. A lot of times what people do is they do consulting work. Maybe you were running your own business, your own YouTube channel. That counts if that's what you did. Maybe you went to school. You can indicate that on your resume. That way it doesn't look like, hey, this person was unemployed for the last 4 years. Whatever you did, you can say what you did because it still counts. A lot of times I get questions, well, I worked at a restaurant, they paid me off the books. So what? That counts. You worked, it counts. So make sure you capture that. You don't want someone to say, hey, you're not a fit for this job. No, I want to make sure you're considering me at the highest level. So I'm going to put in the effort. I'm going to make sure my resume is perfect. You want it to be perfect. A resume is not something that you can just do one time, like you're in school, take the test, turn it in. It's got to be continuously done, redone, rethought about. You look at somebody else's resume, you see something on a job posting. You might want to use that. That might make sense for you. Hey, I have this skill set. They talk about it in the job, but I don't capture it on my resume. So I can either add it to my resume and re-upload, and I understand that can be a pain. Or maybe I do a cover letter, and the cover letter highlights that skill set that's important for this particular job. Another thing, can you have multiple resumes? Yeah, why not? Sure. If you have a diverse background with the different skill sets in technology, maybe you're IT programmer or desktop support, maybe that translates also to customer service. Potentially even sales. You might be able to spin tech support into tech sales. So you can do that. You can have multiple resumes. Use different emails then. That way, when you apply to jobs, you know which one you're getting a response from. Sometimes it's also important to refresh your resume. If your resume is posted on one of the local job sites, you may need to update it frequently. And you also have to make it a little bit fun because if you're sending out 400 resumes and you get nothing, you got to revisit your resume. You got to revisit the jobs that you're applying for. It does take luck at times. It does take knowing the right people. Those are absolutely big time keys. If you know somebody that happens to work for a company, have your resume go through that person. More than likely, they're going to give you that added advantage you may not have coming from the outside. I'll tell you what I do. If an employee says, hey, I got this candidate, I want you to take a look at them, or I'm going to send them in to you. You got it. I'm going to call them at minimum. I'm going to reach out, talk to them, maybe do an interview just because somebody internal that I already know, that I already believe in, they referred them. So take advantage of those tools. All right, guys. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching today. Look forward to the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification for new content. If you have any questions, by all means, drop a comment below and I'll get right back to you. Hey, have a great day. Take care. Bye.